All right, hey guys, welcome again. We're going to do our next review video.
Hello.
This one's Laura over here. She's from Extraordinary Adventures Cruise and Travel.
Yes, that's Scott, my husband.
That's us. So yeah, we're doing a Seabourn Ovation this time. By now, I hope you've already checked out our ship tours as well as our room tour. It gets you a lot of insight about the ship itself. You're checking us out on Instagram and Facebook and all the rest of that because we don't put everything on YouTube.
No.
There's a lot of content, especially on those two channels. We don't really use Twitter much, but maybe someday we'll change that. We'll see. But if you want to get the full package, you definitely want to check those out because there's a lot of performances there. There's food there. There's so much that happens on those two venues. So definitely check that out.
Yes.
Of course, don't forget to like us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and like us here. And subscribe with the notification bell on so that you don't miss a single beat. This is our last video for this series. We'll have something coming up in June. We don't even know ourselves what that is.
We don't.
We do know September we have a Mediterranean cruise on the Jewel of the Seas from Royal Caribbean, so stay tuned for that, but we'll have something before that for sure.
Yeah.
So that's the intro. I guess let's get into the meat of the Seabourn Ovation.
Yes. So, Seabourn Ovation is an ultra luxury ship, cruise ship, but honestly, it feels more like a yacht than a ship, a large yacht.
That's your Seabourn Ovation.
Yeah, it's roughly 40,000 gross tons. Just to give you a comparable, one of the Wonder of the Seas or the
Oasis class is like 220,000.
Right. So 40,000 gross tons versus 200
like 5 to 6 times the size.
So
it's massive.
it holds 600 roughly 600 passengers, whereas like Oasis holds more like 6,000 passengers. So it's definitely more of a luxury experience, and almost everything is included. All of your food, there's not a single food option, including caviar that you can order whenever you want, is included. There are some more pay-for wines, obviously, and some
like they've
spirits.
got the good stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff.
Buy the bottle for $1,000 a bottle kind of stuff. That's not included.
Right, almost anything that you would want.
But she's a level 1 som, if we haven't gone over that in the past. So, and she has found a lot to enjoy for free.
Absolutely.
Or included, complimentary, whatever.
Yeah.
Never for free, because you pay. You always pay. But yeah, she found plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty, so don't worry about that.
I was just trying to give them a backdrop of it's a smaller ship, cruise ship, but honestly it's more like a larger yacht, and almost everything is included in the fare, including your gratuities, everything.
Including that view.
That view, yeah.
It's a crappy day out, sorry guys.
It is, yeah. So we were on a 14-night Panama Canal cruise out of Miami. We went to Cozumel. We went to Belize. We went to
San Andreas, Colombia.
Yep. 2 different spots in Panama, and then
Costa Rica and
Guatemala.
No, that's not you. She's been saying Guatemala.
I don't know what I've been saying.
This whole like 4 days, and now she forgets what she's saying. Guatemala.
Guatemala.
She's been doing some weird thing. They set you up and you...
I dropped the ball. It's okay.
Anyway.
It's been... I can't even begin to explain the level of service. I don't even it's. So to give you a backdrop, we've been on Carnival, we've been on Royal Caribbean, we've been on Norwegian, we've been on Celebrity, we've been on Virgin Voyages, we've been on MSC. So this is our first foray into an ultra luxury cruise line. I know, right? And it truly is like nothing I've ever experienced before on an entire ship. Like on MSC, we went into their yacht club, which is like their ship within a ship concept, and you get the same level of service in that ship within a ship concept, but this is the entire ship that gives you that level of service. So it's just very different and
I don't want
refreshing.
her to mislead you and you think it's Downton Abbey and people there with silver trays. Hello.
No.
It's just that they know your name. They know what you want. Oh, you're having a whiskey today, or like they already know.
They know your
Okay, sounds like a good idea to me.
You don't have to present your C-Pass card every time you want a cocktail. It's just given to you. Sometimes if you watch the tour, the ship tour, there's just wine sitting out there and you can take whatever you want. I mean,
Not if you watch a ship tour.
when you watch you'll
the
see
ship
it.
tour.
Like it's there and you just take it if you want it. The towels, you don't have to.
When you watch the room tour, there's I'm pointing because I'm looking at it. You can't see it in camera, but there's booze in your room, and there's beer in your room, and there's wine, and whatever you want. You tell them to put it in there, they put it in there.
Right.
By theory.
Well, yeah. You don't have to check in your towels or check out your towels. They're just there. Like if you want a pool towel, you take a pool towel. There's bottled, just like purified water everywhere you go. Just bottles of it, just sitting there for you to take. And
there's specialty coffees.
Yeah,
fresh juices,
everything it's just all included. And
you'll want for nothing, but I hate to say the word nothing, but it's pretty close to nothing.
Yeah.
You're really not
it
gonna
really
want for much.
is just, I can't explain because I thought, oh, well, like service is amazing on all these other ships. Like, I can't explain that they just take it to the next level.
Yeah.
They really do. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to start with? You want to start with
you
food?
started with service, so that we
Oh,
started
we started with
with
service.
So
Service
service
is
is
like
amazing.
ridiculous. Like,
And I do also think that, yes, they hire from the same pool of excursion providers that anybody else would, but I think they like crack the whip and say, these are fancy people, because every shore excursion was, well, except for the Belize guy. But
we didn't.
We booked him on our own.
No.
We didn't book him on our own? No.
The
I'm talking
Columbia.
about, no. Can you let a man finish a sentence?
Yes, of course.
Everybody had great service, blah, blah, blah. Even in Colombia. Well, okay, maybe not, except for the driver. But, all right, that's not my point. In Belize, we had a cowboy. We had a real cowboy. Great guy. We had a lot of fun with him. We thought we were being hijacked, taken to Mexico, smuggled for drugs, and we didn't know what was going to happen. It was a bit of a moment. Turned out it was totally legit.
Oh, it was legit.
But we did not expect. We had hired a tour, and we didn't expect a single dude to show up with his fancy car and say, "Get in."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, is this what we signed up for? Turned out it was perfect. We just ended up with a private tour because the timing wasn't right and blah, blah, blah. Things fell in our favor, and we got a private tour, which was awesome.
It was awesome.
But no, the Seabourn ones in like Costa Rica and Panama and Guatemala, it's like they told the people to step it up because these are fancy people.
I don't know.
We've been on a lot of shore excursions before.
They were very
like
good.
the cowboy in Belize.
Except for the Columbia one.
Yeah.
But that's honestly, I'm going to
That's
say,
standard rates.
they told us in advance that the standards that were on this island were not up to the standards of Seabourn. But if that's the case, then
No one knows why they stopped there. Not just
one
us.
of two things.
Should not
Either
have stopped there.
don't stop there or find something that you can do that's up to the standards. Like,
Yeah. And
That's
it's
just what
no
I'm
knock
saying.
at Colombia. And I'll tell
No.
you, the reason I say that is that this wasn't Colombia.
no.
This was like America owning an island 5 million miles away from itself
Yeah.
and calling it America. It's not. It's
No.
as you're coming down, there's this tiny little island that's near Costa Rica and Guatemala and all that.
It's closer
And
to Nicaragua.
Yeah, Colombia is all the way down south.
Yeah.
They just own this island, this dump of an island.
Whatever.
That for them it's a military post. It makes sense. They had a naval base there, an air force there. So I get the government's point of having that piece of land. I do not get why that was a cruise stop. But if you ever take this cruise, don't go there.
I wouldn't stop at San Andreas, Colombia.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get off
Yep.
if I were you.
Yep.
But that's what else.
Cozumel's Cozumel. If you've been there before, you'll know
Yeah.
it's the same Cozumel. No different at all. So go do something. Belize, if you've been to Belize. Roatan, any of those stops that are not quite in Central America yet, that are more like Mexico or Caribbean, it's the same stops that anybody else makes. Once you get to Central America, Panama, Costa Rica, and Guatemala, holy cow, we didn't expect it.
Oh, I loved
Gorgeous.
Guatemala. Oh
Gorgeous.
my God, Costa Rica. Oh,
Gorgeous.
gorgeous. Okay.
So those are stops you should make on your bucket list one of these days to get to real Central America, and definitely go check out the Panama Canal. The locks were really
beautiful.
cool.
It was wonderful.
She's gonna have a lot of footage. She was the one doing the footage.
Yeah.
I don't know where she's putting it all, but she's
It's
got
on
a lot
your
of
phone.
it. That's not what I meant. About where it currently resides. Where are you putting it all?
Wherever he decides to put it.
Anyone looking for a job? We need someone to do all this for us so we can continue to travel and just give you all the content and let you handle it.
On a side note, does anybody like my Captain?
So Captain Kate, look. That's what we're
It's
calling it.
my cap. So I
Kate
was
McHugh,
yeah,
Celebrity.
Captain Kate McHugh from Celebrity. So I was in the dressing room at the clothing store, and I had a white shirt on with this jacket. Scott pulled up a photo of Captain Kate McHugh and was like, "Yeah, you look like her." It was really funny. Anyway,
She decided she had to have it.
I did. I love it. But I'm gonna tell you, when I did the ship tour, I hid that part because
She didn't want to be stopped. Excuse me, where's the...
yeah, it looks a little, captain-y. Well, it doesn't have the, but anyway.
A lot of captains out there looking like you?
I don't think so.
No, exactly.
Except for maybe Captain
Kate's
Kate.
the closest
She's
to the
prettier
tourist.
than I am.
That's not true, but she's
Thanks.
she's not an old Norwegian man or an Italian Greek man, tall and furry like they all
We're really
are.
digressing here.
Maybe. That's fine.
Oh, dear.
okay.
Okay. Food?
Sure, food.
Sure, food.
What are you pointing at me?
Yeah, I was asking you to,
She always says
opine.
that I take the lead, blah, 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 but then she inevitably just jumps in and
Okay, I'm going to opine about the food.
there you go.
Well, because he's,
Yeah, I'll
Billy.
get in there. I'll get in there.
The food. It's really good. Okay. It's almost back to the service. Okay. So on the first night ever on our ship, the first, get whatever. So we're meeting, we're doing the sail away party, and we meet the cruise director, Ross. And we...
Ross Roberts. If
Ross
you ever see his name on a ship, that's the one you should take.
have to go. Anyway,
It's
so...
all the Seabourn ships are either exactly the same, or is it
It's
Seabourn that says all their ships are the
No,
same?
they're not the same.
Okay, so it's either close to the same or whatever. So it really comes down to knowing who the staff is, and Ross Roberts is who you want as he's your Ricky Matthews. He's your Bing
He's
Bong.
awesome.
He's
really fab.
He's on top.
So Scott being Scott, so Ross is from England,
He's from England.
and
Not Notting Hill, but Nottingham. Nottinghamshire.
yes, Scott. If you don't know him personally, he's a bit of a comedian and ball buster. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but anyway, so he was given so. Ross is from England, so Scott was mentioning that he really likes.
Yeah, well, no, we started chatting, right? So we started getting a
sure.
little familiar. It wasn't just formal. Like we started to,
Yeah.
and it wasn't just us. It was me and Laura. We met this great couple,
Yeah,
Larry and Ann, and we
really
had a
nice
night.
people, yeah.
And he was doing the rounds. It wasn't just coming to us.
No,
but he came
no.
to us, and we were shooting the breeze, and
So
I started joking around a little bit
he
with
started
him.
joking around
And
about.
he is a homosexual male.
Yes.
I mentioned that because it's pertinent to the story,
Yes. And he's from England.
and he's from England, which
And
is also pertinent to the
if
story.
you don't know, there's a dessert, an English dessert, and it's called spotted dick.
Spotted dick.
Dick, yes.
Spotted dick.
Yes.
Even they know. Even the Brits know.
They know. So he was joking with him about the spotted dick dessert, and we didn't think anything about it or anything
A lot
at
of
all.
innuendos.
And
About the spotted dick.
night 2,
2 or 3. One of
Two
the
or three.
couple
We're
nights in.
sitting at the restaurant, eating dinner at the restaurant because it's called the restaurant because it's the restaurant. And they wouldn't let us order dessert. And then all of a sudden, presented to us is,
Two
lo and
spotted
behold,
dicks.
spotted dick. Like,
Yeah, and he didn't know who we were yet. We hadn't introduced ourselves.
how did he know who we had?
Or how did he know we would be dining that night?
How did we know? How did we know anything? A, who we were. B, where we'd be dining. There were so many. Like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
It was just so crazy.
So I guess more service than it is food. But when they made the spotted dick, it was delicious. Spotted dick.
It was delicious.
You know, similar stories
It was
with
delicious.
if I had the guy's name, I took a photo, and it doesn't do me good because we're recording it on the same
Right
camera.
now.
I took the photo.
Yeah.
But a gentleman from South Africa, there's a lot of South African on board. A lot.
Yeah.
Even they've commented. They've
Yeah.
never been on a ship with somebody South African.
Yeah.
Not just Zimbabwe, like that whole region down there.
Yeah.
And this one gentleman, we're chatting, blah, blah, blah. And Laura wanted to get some Indian food, and he was mentioning that on the last night, there's an Indian market, blah, blah, blah. And then I just, because Laura knows African food. I don't know anything about it. I didn't even know what I was asking for. I always said it wrong in the past. I said it intentionally wrong in the past because I'm a jerk that way. And I just throw it out there and say, hey, what about babodi? Which I always call bobo tie. Babodi. And he looks at me and
Babodi.
says, okay.
Okay.
A couple days later, babodi.
Babodi shows up.
Not served on any menu anywhere.
No.
But there was a South African chef who knew how to make babodi. We had babodi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really cool.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of examples of that. I think there's one more dessert example coming from South Africa.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
they
maybe.
both claimed that it's coming.
Well, then we have to show up. I don't know.
We're going to show up to
Yeah.
some dinner somewhere.
Yeah.
Wherever we show up, that's where the dessert will come.
Just so the food has just been
Very good.
good to great.
Yeah, yeah.
Good to great.
But I would not call it exceptional.
It's not.
That's the big surprise
parts
to
of
me.
it have been really good.
Yeah.
But not like.
I liked all what they did with England today. The potted pies,
Yeah.
like all the flavors
You
were.
like that?
The fish and chips
I like
that
the
you
fish
like.
and chips.
Like sometimes like they'll hit, and oftentimes they'll just kind of hit.
They'll do it really well.
Yeah.
It's really good. I don't want to like
It's not
knock
virgin.
them.
For everything we said wrong about Virgin, we think Virgin's food is still the best
still
we've
do.
had. So, sorry, Seabourn, your food is not as good as Virgin's.
But
Sorry.
it's so good. I don't
But it also
ever want
comes
to like.
presented amazingly.
It's
the
so
service is amazing. Like
beautiful.
everything about it is
The service is like the best service I've ever had.
so.
The food is really good. It's not like when we say like everything is like is good. It's not
You remember
like
how
I
you
would
make
like.
fun of Ryan for saying "ladies and gentlemen"?
Yeah, yeah.
How many times do you think you've said "really good" in the
lot.
last few minutes? So if they were having a shot game at home right now, they'd be
You could have a
drunk.
drink. So I'm not gonna say
We'll mention that Ryan comment later.
it's inedible. I don't want to say it's inedible. I don't want to even say
not
like
even close
I wouldn't
to
even-
inedible.
It's not even close. It's drink.
It's really good.
Hence drink.
So, as you can tell, we're finding hard to hit the mark on how to describe it because it is really good. I don't know. Because it is really good. Yeah. So, that's the food. That's the
It's-
food. There's a lot of photos on Instagram again and on Facebook, so you're going to see it. Presents well. It tastes fabulous. We had a great time.
does.
Service is great.
Yeah.
There's no knock. It's not like some crappy NDR on some old,
No,
Royal-
I would
Royal
never,
Carnival ship.
ever compare
nothing like
it to the MDR.
I think it's just that our bar was set so high for a luxury cruise
I
line
did, yeah.
that that's why we're thinking it doesn't meet the imagination we had for it.
I was expecting like Virgin Voyages level cuisine.
Yeah.
And it wasn't exactly like that. It was good, but really good. But
All
it
right.
wasn't, anyway.
So one other thing I will mention about food is the variety, not just the quality.
Thank you.
And by the way, in terms of quality, I would guess we're really mentioning more presentation, like how the chef's art is. But in terms of the food type, like you get calamari and shrimp and fish and you name
So much
caviar on demand anywhere you want. They don't skimp on giving you top quality ingredients.
Right.
That's not what we're talking about.
No.
You can have all the top quality ingredients you want. Filet, I mean, all of it. That's not what we're talking about. But back to the variety. There are several restaurants to choose from, none of which are additional pay, and none of which are suddenly inferior because you're going to go to the buffet or something.
Right.
That doesn't exist here. It becomes for us, and I brought this over to show, every day they give you a dining guide. And hopefully you can see that. And it tells you the dining for today, March 25th. Gives you the options that you're going to have at the restaurant, at Thomas Keller, at Earth and Ocean at the patio, at the Colonnade, in your sushi restaurant, and in your in-suite dining. Right. So you have every day. So what we sit here doing is, instead of deciding where we want to go, because all the venues are amazing, we look at which menu looks good.
Right.
So I do like Snapper. That looks like it could be a winner. And that's what we do. We just look through, and I look at her, and she makes her choices, and that's how we choose dinner. Because while I would say the restaurant environmentally is our least, or atmospherically is our least favorite, it's still a nice dining restaurant.
It is.
But we're on a ship, so we want to go to these outside venues.
It also has the largest variety.
It does have a large variety. They also, that's where they make the magic happen.
Yeah.
For the spotted dick and the bobotie, the boboti. But the other venues have the connection with the sea.
They do, and that's
dine out on the pool deck and
fabulous.
So if there was a tie, we would usually choose the one that took you outside.
Yeah.
And then for lunch, what I've noticed is, backtrack to breakfast real quick. Breakfast is the same every day. Kind of like, I think, an area where maybe they drop the ball. It's literally the same every day. And the only reason I say they drop the ball is because lunch and dinner never is the same. At all, ever.
Ever.
So you're going to say, well, how do you make breakfast different? I don't know. Norwegian had crepes.
I don't know. I'm just telling you.
I'm not talking to you. Norwegian had crepes, and that wasn't every day. Like, they would bring out these new things, and you'd give it a shot. When we were on, again, Virgin, you'd have a lot of breakfast options.
Yeah.
You had that weird stuff in that place with the thing. Yeah. You remember the vegetarian place?
Oh, Razzle Dazzle.
Razzle Dazzle. And they had all that weird breakfast stuff. Then we went to the Wake, and I had a filet with eggs and stuff for breakfast.
Yeah.
So there was so much variety. So I disagree with you. I think they could find that variety.
Right.
Like they have found that variety for lunch and dinner. Because if you look at our tour, unfortunately, the Colonnade, there was no food out at the time.
Yeah.
But on the patio, they did have the food out. And most of those selections changed every day.
Yeah.
So there was always something new to try and taste. The variety has not left you culinarily bored at all.
No.
Always something new to try. And oftentimes on long cruises, you're like getting bored.
Yeah.
I could be here another 2 weeks and still not try everything they have to offer.
Correct.
And that's on a small ship. Usually that happens on an Oasis class ship.
Yeah.
Where you can't get to it all. But you could not get to it all here.
No, you can't. No.
And we've had early lunch and late lunch too, to try to get to more of it, but it's hard.
On top of that, they also offer high tea at 4 o'clock.
True.
With scones and little mini sandwiches.
Again, there are videos and pictures on the other.
Yeah. Can I tell them about our biggest complaint about the food? Yeah. So, you don't know what it is?
No, I'm waiting.
So they have set times where you eat breakfast, you eat lunch, and you eat dinner. And then after dinner, there's legit nothing to eat at all, period.
To be fair, there are wide windows. It's not like she's saying from 6 to 7:30.
No.
It's a wide window.
Yeah. But there's nothing to eat after dinner except for room service. So at 1 o'clock in the morning, if you're hungry and you want something to eat, there's no pizza, there's no little sandwiches at the I forget what it's called. You know what I'm talking about.
The coffee bar.
No, on a royal ship. Next to
Cafe Promenade.
Cafe Promenade.
How would I know you're switching to Royal?
Yeah. Because we always go to... Anyway, so there's no... And so you have to order room service. And you have to wait then, 45 minutes. And if you're...
You don't want to be stuck in your room, and you don't want to be sitting there... All right, you're making it sound like we're boozers. What if you come back from an excursion
No.
at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and
Right.
you're hungry and you want a snack, and you don't want to just sit in your
That
room?
was a problem.
There's nowhere to get a snack.
At 4 o'clock.
Because everything's closed. The colonnade's done. The patio's done. You can go to the coffee shop and you can get, if they're in stock, some small finger foods, which is good, and a lot of pastry. So you can get pastry and coffee. But
Right.
sometimes you get back from an excursion and you're hungry.
Right.
And you don't want to wait 2.5 hours for 6:30 or 7 o'clock
Right.
for some of the restaurants to open. And you don't want to sit in your room.
Which we did once. We ordered, and it took like an hour, hour and 15. I don't remember. It was a long time. By the time we got it,
That day. But
that
there's been
day-
other days where it's been 15, 20
Yeah.
minutes. So, but that day was a little bit long. And like you want to go out to the pool. You want to go have a cocktail. You want to listen to music. Whatever you want to do. You
Right.
don't want to sit in your room.
No,
So that's we think it's a pretty big ding. Is
we do.
the passive dining options, called passive, where it's just always there and just passively
It's
you
like
want to
little
walk by.
snackies.
And we thought Virgin handled that incredibly well. They had like these high school coolers, these
They
7-Eleven
did,
coolers,
yeah.
where good food. It was just the environment in which you would pick it up. I don't know how they could make it prettier, but they would have salads, wraps,
Yeah.
sushi, like just sitting there, ready for you to go at different areas on the ship. So I don't know why they couldn't do something like that here, but they don't seem
Anyway,
to.
no.
And then yeah, like late night pizza is not a thing.
No.
They don't do that kind of thing. So,
No.
but that is owing to the fact that it is a little bit older demographic. What we've learned before we go too far into everything else, because we got to get back to food, is that when they say, "Oh, these are old ships, old people, old," it does veer a little older, right? But it's an active older.
It is.
I mean,
yeah.
we're talking people that are wearing like tennis outfits and golfing shit, and they're walking up these cliffs and hills and things that we were doing in Guatemala easily, just the same as we were. So we're not talking.
Yeah.
Just they're a little older, but they're not older.
Right.
They're physically fit, smart, sharp people. So,
I'd say like
and they're good for conversation.
65 to 75.
Are there a few of these ancient ladies that are hunched over? Sure. You get those on Royal.
Yeah.
You get them everywhere.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that's not the crowd. That's not who we've been meeting.
There's
at all.
definitely some people who are our age.
Ish.
We're in the mid 40s. So there are people our age-ish. But the majority of the people are in the mid 60s to mid 70s.
But that's why there's no late night food.
I know.
Because they're not eating dinner at midnight. Not having a snack.
No.
But they might do that midday thing.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
I don't know. Anyway.
So variety's great. That's a drawback. Food's great. Service great. Okay. Bars have been fabulous. Their cocktail making ability is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
They're good
So
mixologists.
good. Very good.
The only thing, as you know, 2 decades of bartender myself, their shelf options, mid shelf, top shelf, whatever, lack to me for a premium ship. You have the same Grey Goose, Belvedere, Kettle One, whatever. You have this. You don't even have good gin selection. You've got
No.
Beefeater and Gordon's. They have Gordon's. Now, I know they have a big British contingent on board. People, the customers, not the crew.
Yes.
Guests. So they might like the Gordons and the Beefeaters, but that's not quality. There's so many more better gins out there. For rum, they have Bacardi,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just think that their shelves, like their single malts, are okay. There's a Talisker, there's a Glenlivet and a Macallan, but that's it.
Yeah.
Like, where's the top shelf stuff?
So the entertainment is very entertaining.
Okay, so lesson learned. Give her a wine or two, not 7. Because the entertainment is very entertaining.
So
The quality of the review
no,
you're getting there.
it's really good. Okay, really good.
Really good.
So my biggest
You up to complaints before you're saying good stuff?
I am. No? Okay.
Nope, go for it.
So they have 4 singers. They have 2 dancers. They have the people that play with the band that plays with. I couldn't say people. They have the band that plays.
People with the instruments, they all stand together playing. What are they called?
I don't know.
Okay.
They have a band that plays with the singers and dancers, and then they have a house band. So The band that plays with the singers and dancers is fabulous and is very entertaining. The singers and dancers themselves are amazing. The dancers are just like, even though there's only two, they're so captivating. The girl has such a smile. It's just, it's amazing.
And I'm not dance as an art form kind of guy, but he hits his marks. He's like a robot. He's just...
He's
very
good. He's
very
really good.
But then we saw him on the dance floor last night trying to dance to normal stuff. He seemed like to not know how to do it.
But
Weird. Anyway. Also, strangely though, the cruise director and the assistant cruise director sing they could be professionals. I've never seen that before. And they constantly sing. They're not just doing a note here or there. They have full performances featuring them.
So almost every night they have a sail away party, and either the singers and dancers or Ross or Ryan, the cruise director or the assistant cruise director, they perform. They're so talented. They're so good.
Very good. And that brings up the Ryan point I was making earlier, where when Ryan addresses the audience, for some reason, he says, ladies and gentlemen, every third word.
He does.
And it was driving Laura nuts. And I hadn't noticed it at first, but then she pointed it out, and now I see it. Then I pointed to the next guy, then he sees it. And then Laura says, we're going to make this drinking game.
We're having a drinking game.
And we're debating, and I wish this was Facebook Live or something where you could tell us your thoughts. We're debating telling the guy that he says, ladies and gentlemen, every third word. I don't want to get in his head because he's a sweet guy. He's going to be he's about to move on to be a full cruise director, so he's going to be fabulous. He's great in every other way. He just doesn't know how to not say,
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. And he does end all of his own songs by like an orchestra conductor, where he, boom.
Anyway, okay, so back to like...
He's going to watch this because I invited him to...
Oh, this is horrible.
Ryan,
sorry.
we do love you.
I know we sound like, but we really do love you. Our biggest, like, being younger people, like, I love to dance to, like, dance music that's on the radio. Or, wow, I don't know if you could see it. Oh, it's crazy. Anyway, Ross, the cruise director, tried to have 2 DJ nights out on the back area of the dance club, and both nights they got rained out. And for some reason, they couldn't continue the DJ into the club. Yeah. So I don't know why. So they had the singers and dancers sing again, which I don't. So the problem is that they would repeat in the 2-week cruise. They would repeat all of their sets every like 3 or 4 days. So. Oh
no, much more than that. Much more often than that.
It was every day.
I felt like it was like every day.
Like how many times did you hear Dolly Parton singing "Working 9 to 5"?
Why
but it wasn't even Dolly Parton.
Pick on that poor
because
Dolly
they
Parton.
played it so many times. It wasn't even Dolly Parton. It was the singer playing Dolly Parton.
And she's a talented young lady.
She's so good, but
Very good.
How many times can you hear 9 to 5? I don't know.
You could flush out your playlist a little bit. Flesh it out.
Anyway,
a little bit bigger.
I really wanted more and I wasn't the only one, and I know I was one of the younger people, but some of the older people really seemed to like when they came. They really seemed to like want to dance to that music.
Well, here's the proof in the pudding. On the party nights that happened early on, and then again last night.
Last night,
everybody showed up. Everybody on the ship is there. It's like 400 people jamming in this room. Every other night, there's like 20 people.
Right.
And there's like 3 people on the dance floor. Because it's the same, like they'd walk in, you'd see it. You could sit there and watch. They'd walk in, look around a bit, and leave. They'd leave because it's the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, so like 400 people showed up, then it started raining, then they canceled it, then they moved it inside, and then the band started playing and everybody left. Now, I mean, I love the band, but there's only so many times you can hear the band play the same songs over and over and over again on a 2-week cruise and not say, okay.
They are a workhorse band.
They work so hard.
I've never seen a band everywhere all the time as much as I've seen these guys everywhere all the time.
Same with the cruise director and Roth, like Ryan and Roth, both. Assistant cruise director, and they worked so hard. Yeah. Oh my God, they worked so hard. Anyway.
I was going to say something about the band. And another thing I thought was interesting was, I've never seen this before, we're starting to see, like we saw the crew here in the gym, and we've seen some of Virgin staff mingling around. Not with the guests, but you'd see them sitting in the lounge with each other and just, or at they're not buffet. They'd have lunch. You'd see them having lunch there. But I've never seen the cast and crew of the performers dancing on the dance floor with the people.
Oh, they do, yeah.
That's like the old thing they had on Long Island years ago, Showstoppers, where they would be in there to kind of get everybody into it. And I thought that was fabulous. The old ladies are dancing with the young boys, and the old men are dancing with the young girls. And it's, there's a little bit of a there. You on your phone having a good time?
I'm trying to read my notes so that I remember what else to talk about.
Anywho, so that's, I think, what, entertainment?
Yeah.
Talked about this. Every day you get on your cell phone an app, and you also get their Herald. On their app is called the Seabourn Source, and they give you the rundown like every other ship does. You get the food, and you get the goings on. Like right now, we're about to miss. No, we're not missing anything.
We just missed knitting.
Oh, we missed knit and natter. We did miss knit and natter. We also the spa seminar, eat more to weigh less. That's not working for us.
Okay, so the only other thing I have, because we mentioned it on our deck tours, but we didn't mention on this, is that you have such a great connection to the sea. But as you can see, you just saw so you feel the boat rocking. You have a great connection to the sea, but the stabilizers aren't what they are on a larger ship because this is only 40,000 gross tons. So you feel the boat a rocking. So if you are a person who is prone to seasickness, this might not be the best cruise for you.
Yeah. That would go. It's not Seabourn. That's any small ship.
No, any small ship.
Because they're not going to be built to be like Oasis class.
The larger ships, you don't, like, this could happen and you wouldn't even feel it. But
I was just saying on the ship tour, it was like 10, 11 out of the 14 days were like glass.
Oh, yeah, they were great.
Only a day here and there where the seas act up. If the seas are fine, the ship handles fine. I just said fine 3 times in a row. If everything's cool out there, everything's cool in here.
Drink?
Yeah, shots. It's just when things get so not so cool out there.
Yeah.
That they.
So, the only other thing I'll mention is that there's definitely is a dress code. We mentioned this on the ship tour. There's definitely a dress code for the restaurants. If you are a person who doesn't like to get dressed up every night, and by dressed up I mean like
you have to wear a suit.
You don't have to wear a suit, but you have to wear slacks.
Or something.
You can't wear shorts.
Can't be a schlub.
Can't wear shorts. And you have to wear a collared shirt. It could be a polo, that's fine, except on formal nights. But basically all I'm saying is that you get, so Scott was in the pool swimming on formal night. It was like, what time was it at that you were swimming?
Well, we were still there in...
I wasn't. I was sleeping. I had the headache.
Like 6:45, 6:45. The sun's still out. It's daytime.
But it was like 6:45, 7 o'clock. And everybody else was in their tux, like legit tuxedos. And they were just looking at him like he was freaking crazy.
Yeah.
For being in the pool at 6:45.
Whatever. It was weird. But
anyway.
That's not to make you think like what I had thought before I came on. That do you have to like dress up to go to the pool? Do you got to dress up everywhere you are? People are totally schlubs during the day. They're wearing. I mean, we saw a guy in camo. What do you call it? Cargo shorts.
Cargo shorts.
You do not have to be fancy during the day. They're in the same schlubby swimwear that we all are.
At night, there's definitely.
Right, but you already said that's no. Don't say a butt to my butt.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not a butt fest.
Can I show you my butt?
It's not all formal all the time, is the point I'm making. You can go to breakfast in your regular clothing.
Yeah.
People are in their shorts in the dining room.
For breakfast. Yes.
So it's just that they like to gussy up late in the evening.
They do.
And on formal night, they don't, like I do, they don't run right back to their room and get back into informal. They stay formal the whole night.
If you're formal, you stay formal.
Yeah, not me. So they probably hate me, but whatever.
So you just have to expect a certain level of formality if you choose to cruise on this.
Yeah.
That's all. It's good, though.
We hit all your notes?
We did actually.
And we had entertainment, we had food, we had service, we had bar.
Yeah.
We had excursions, we had the ship
did.
itself, the crew.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked much about the captain and the bridge crew, but we haven't been at those events much.
No,
you
I
did this morning.
Yeah. So the question, there's one last question. Would you recommend this, and would you sail on it again?
Would you recommend it?
I would, yeah.
And would you sail?
I would, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're fans. I think we're
We
fans
are.
for a different reason than we're fans of other ships.
Yeah.
I think, there are, what's that old song, different strokes for different folks?
Yeah.
That old saying?
Yeah.
Different strokes for different folks. And but we are the same folks that like different strokes. There are times where we're going to want this, where we're going to want to relax and be served and feel just comfortable for a week or two. And then there are times where we're going to want to go crazy with our friends. So, I don't know that we would ever do a group cruise on Seabourn unless it was all 65, 70-year-olds. But if you've got a mixed group, a multi-generation group,
Yeah.
with teenagers and 20s and 30s and 50s and 60s and 80s, if you have that kind of group, maybe this is not the best ship for that. Because there's not going to be a lot of fun stuff to do. There's no rock climbing walls. There's no zip lines. There's no belly flop contests. That kind of fun ship is Carnival calls themselves a fun ship for a reason. They do the fun stuff, and so does Royal, and so does NCL. But that's not this. So for what this is, I liked it a lot.
I really did.
Laura and I are finding that we are actually dividing a little bit. We're separating a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm becoming, I think I like the ship within a ship fan, where she's saying she likes this better. The yacht club we've talked about, where you get a lot of that seaborne stuff if you stay in the area, but then you can go to the other areas and do the fun stuff. So I think that's for me. But
I mean, I
like an
totally,
English pub when I'm on a cruise ship.
I totally get that, but I love the fact that they all know our names and they know what we like, and we don't have to show our SeaPass card to get a beverage. We don't have to check in or check out towels.
Agreed. No schooner bar. No pub singer.
I know.
There's things that other lines have that I like.
Yeah, I know.
So I think that's where we stand with Seabourn. It's a great option.
Yeah.
Great option. 100% recommend it.
Yeah.
Sell it.
Yeah. I never thought I'd be a person who'd be okay with being on a cruise for 14 nights straight. I thought I'd be bored out of my... But honestly, it's been splendid. Splendid.
Ooh, fabulous. That's not a drinking shot game word.
It could be.
Very good was your. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for us for this review. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Of course, you can email us ea.travel.advisor@gmail.com. That's eaechoalpha.travel.advisor@gmail.com.
Yes.
And that email will come to both of us. We'll both be able to get that, and one of us will answer that for you. But of course, you can just chuck it in the comments. You can hit us up on Facebook and even Twitter, and Instagram, and we'll do what we can to help you out. This channel is our way of giving back. So any questions you want to ask, it's free. It's free. You just feel free to hit us up. We're here for you. So with that, I think we're on a wrap. Yeah.
I think so. I'm really sad we're leaving.
We got one more day.
One more day.
One more day for partying.
Yeah.
And we'll be on something in 3
But
months.
I'm still sad.
Yeah.
But that's it, I think.
Yeah, and if there's anything else that we want to tell you about it, we'll tell you on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. So be sure to follow us there. I guess that's it for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
Bye.